Hi guys, I am back, kinda. Hi, I'm Christy, and it's been a while since I did a YouTube video, but I wanted to take the time to come back to YouTube, kind of come back to my roots. And you may recognize that I'm not in the kitchen that you're used to seeing me in. Well, I've got a lot to update you on. I'm so glad you're going to join me for this quick update of what I've been up to in the past 3 years since I've done YouTube. So, first of all, where I'm standing right now is on the porch of our retirement home. David and I built our retirement home. Well, we finished it in October of 2023, and that's where I am right now. And it's not, you can kind of see behind me the mountains. It's not in Pinehurst. It's actually in Boone, North Carolina, which is in the western part of the state, the northwestern part of the state. And if you've been following me on Facebook, you know that we built this house and you know that we love it. You also know that we had some damage from Helene and that I've been very active in Western North Carolina volunteering since that happened. Let me give you a little bit of a tour around the farm. It is an 80-acre farm, but that's not what I want to update you on first. I want to update you on what I've been doing with regards to eating and my low-carb lifestyle. You may be able to tell from looking at me that I've actually been able to manage my weight pretty well, but that's another part of the journey. And it's really interesting because if you remember way back in probably 2017, I shared what I called my failure story with you guys. And I shared how I'd struggled with obesity all of my life, how I started gaining weight at the age of 3, and how it had just been a lifelong struggle. I couldn't point you to that video, and I can give you a little bit of that update, but I want to talk to you about what's happened since then. And again, if you haven't followed me, it was in 2013, in fact, June of 2013, almost 12 years ago, that I started doing low carb, or what some people would call keto. And I went from weighing around 270 pounds to weighing at that time around 165, 170, something like that. And I managed to keep the weight off, and which was a miracle because, like a lot of people, I had lost weight and gained weight and lost weight and gained weight over the years. And remember, this has been a lifetime struggle for me. I actually had gastric bypass surgery in 1997 when I weighed 313 pounds. And anyway, even after gastric bypass, had gained weight and felt like such a huge failure. Hence my calling that video of one of my first YouTube shares, my failure story. It's a little windy. I may have to take you guys inside. Anyway, oof, it's very windy. The swing just hit the back. But anyway, so since that time, I kind of maintained the weight loss. I published 5 books. The kids grew up and went off to college. In fact, our Gracie is getting ready to graduate with a 4-year degree in engineering. And I get emotional thinking about that because you guys remember her from being in elementary school when I first started doing videos. And Jonathan is actually a sophomore junior in college as well. Both of them are engineering students at North Carolina State University, and I could not be more proud of my children, of my babies. It's been a long journey. But anyway, I'll update you on all of that, and maybe what we ought to do, I'll give you a little tour around. This is a swing. The rug got blown up just a minute ago. This is a swing that David and the kids built for me from old barnwood on the property in Boone. And I love to come out here on my swing and have coffee and just take in the day. And I've been doing Facebook Lives, kind of got away from that just because of time. And I'll be really honest when I say that one of the reasons I stopped doing YouTube videos was because it got super complicated to try to do the editing. Well, I'm back, and unapologetically, I still don't have amazing video skills, but what I have is that heart for sharing with you guys. And so if you'll forgive me for my very rudimentary Gen X kind of video skills, then I'll be back to share with you guys. Let me show you around the farm first, and then we'll have a chat on the porch swing. It's good to see you guys again. Thanks for following me, and I really do look forward to sharing the next chapter of what's happened since I started low carb way back in June of 2013. Okay, guys, so Banjo and I are on the porch. Banjo is still with me, and so is Winston. Winston is over on the porch. He may join us on the swing in just a minute. But here we are on the porch swing. And like I said, I'll show you around the farm if you're interested. But I wanted to kind of, like I said, update kind of what I've been up to. So in, gosh, January of 2019, the years just run together so quickly. I retired from my full-time job with the state of North Carolina and started working with Diet Doctor full-time. And I did that until, gosh, through the pandemic, which was a huge impact on everybody. And I did that until, gosh, it's coming up on 4 years. So 2021. And what happened there was I really decided that there's so many things I wanted to do. There's so many things I wanted to share. And it just didn't fit in with kind of the business model that Andreas was, Dr. Unfeld was pursuing at the time. And I felt strongly about what people needed from me. And what also started happening during the pandemic is I started doing live cooking classes with folks. So I used different platforms. One time I used Zoom, but I used different platforms and folks could come online and cook with me. And I'd share the ingredient list and everything in advance and the recipe. And then we would have our live cooking session together. And folks really seemed to love that connection. And so at some point I started my own, what I called cooking community. And so instead of paying individually for the cooking classes, you could pay one flat fee and join my community for an entire 30 days, for 90 days, excuse me, 30 days, for 90 days. And so as part of that 90 days, you got recipes and we, did different things. And so I've been doing that since August of 2021. And yeah, it'll be 4 years in August. And it's been so much fun. It's called homemade.health, and it's Christy's cooking community. And it has been just a wonderful way to connect with folks. As part of that, I've also been teaching classes, and not just cooking classes, but I've been teaching classes. It's cold. I may have to get a jacket or go inside. I've been teaching classes, one of that we call Navigator, one that we call Compass, and even one that we call the Collective Kitchen. And a lot of it is about kind of this lifestyle and the way that I eat and how I figured out what the best way to eat for me would be. But another kind of painful truth about one of the reasons I stopped doing YouTube was I began struggling with my weight. Now, what's interesting is that I never changed the way that I ate. And so somewhere around 2021, I actually started gaining weight, eating the exact same things that I had been eating to lose weight on keto. And I have to tell you, I became really disillusioned with it because I never stopped. I remember confiding to someone that I wasn't hiding in my closet eating Oreos. I just looked as if I was. And that was heartbreaking for me because when I started doing low carb, high fat, I thought I had found like the Holy Grail. I thought that this was the answer to all of the weight issues I'd had all of my life. If you remember, I started losing weight and just lost weight effortlessly. Well, all of a sudden, here I was and gaining weight, eating the exact same things I had eaten to lose weight. And I'll be completely transparent with you guys because I have no reason not to be. But when I started kind of reaching out to some of the keto experts in the sphere, some of them were saying things to me like, oh, you're probably eating more than you realize, or you just need to eat less, Christy. And do you exercise? And you can imagine where I was with that. It was like, okay, eat less, move more. It's what people have told me my entire life. There's something more going on here. This isn't about me being sedentary. My life hasn't changed. I'm doing the same things I was doing before. What is different? And somewhere along the way, in fact, right before I left Diet Doctor, Andreas and the team had really started start focusing on protein. And it was one of those things that was really hard for me because I'd always kind of felt like, well, if losing weight, eating high fat, and not worrying about protein worked, why did it stop working? But I eventually got so desperate that in August of 2022, I reached out to an obesity specialist. And that was so eye opening. For the first time in my life ever, this doctor said to me, "So, what do you eat?" She didn't say you probably need to eat less, move more. She didn't say you're probably eating too much. She said, "What are you eating? What are you eating?" Isn't that a novel concept? If somebody's struggling with weight, to actually ask them what they're eating. And so she had me keep a food log, a journal, food journal for 2 weeks. And it became really obvious to me. And here's the thing, let me be clear. Since 2012, I had focused on low carb, keeping it under 20 total grams of carbs per day, and eating as much fat as I wanted, not worrying about protein and not worrying about calories at all. So when she had me start logging, I realized right away that my calories were fairly low. I was eating 900 to 1200 calories per day and gaining weight. So what I hadn't thought about, hadn't paid a lot of attention to, was the source of those calories. I was eating at that time anywhere from 40 to 60 grams of protein. Protein was incidental. Again, I never prioritized it. I was still keeping my carbs under 20 per day for the most part, total carbs, not net carbs, avoiding ultra processed foods, eating pretty much whole foods, but eating really high fat. So if my protein fell between 40 to 60 grams per day, my fat was falling between 120, 160 grams per day. So my body was getting ample fat, but it wasn't getting the protein it needed. The other thing that, and I can talk about this more in another video if you're interested, another thing that she had me do was genetic testing. When I shared that I really started gaining weight at the age of 3 and that had been a lifetime struggle, she said, "Have you ever had genetic testing and would you be interested in it?" And so I did pursue that, which was really interesting in and of itself. And yes, I have 2 genetic markers for obesity. So anyway, the bottom line, the information she gave me, or the directive, was you've got to get more protein. You need a minimum of 100 grams of protein per day. And I was like, I can't do that. And so I remember one time we were negotiating and she said, okay, just do 75. If you can just get 75 grams of protein per day, that's better than what you've been getting. And it was a long, long journey. So here I am. And I'll give you another bit of an update. So at that point, I had started gaining weight and I was mortified. I was so embarrassed. I was ashamed. I felt like a failure all over again. I mean, here I had this answer. I'd literally written books on how to do this, and I was failing again. Well, in that time, not only do I make sure that I get ample protein at every single meal, but I've changed my meal timing with an eye toward making sure that I get ample protein early in the day. And I have a lot to say about fasting, guys, a lot to say about it. As much wind as there is, I have to say about it. I started making sure that I prioritize movement. And I have to go inside before Banjo and I both get blown away. I started making sure that I prioritize sleep, and I lowered my fat intake. Now, that doesn't mean that I still don't love some bacon or chicken wings with ranch dressing. I still love those foods, and I eat them on occasion, but I do eat more protein. And how's that working for me? Well, I'll show you. Okay, I had to come inside, guys. I was freezing out there, plus the wind. Anyway, hopefully it'll be warmer later this week, and I can take you on a little tour of the farm. I'd love to show you around the farm. Anyway, how's that working for me? Well, it's working really, really well. And if anybody tells you that meal timing doesn't matter or protein doesn't matter, then just stop listening to them, okay? Because it really, really does matter. Here's my update. I'm taking off my pants. It's not that kind of a video, but I want to show you something. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm really proud of this, and I want to show you. Okay, you ready? My kids are going to die. Here we go. These are my breeches. I just took off. Where is it? These are American Eagle jeans. Here we go. Are you ready? Check it out. Check it out. Can you see? Size 4. You're size 4. I'm wearing size 4 jeans. I cried when I got in my size 4 jeans. I cried because I spent most of my life wearing size 22, 24 jeans. At my largest, I wore size 26, 28. And so now to be in my size 4 American Eagle jeans, I can hold them. So I'm really proud. I can put them on and I can breathe. My husband's going to die. Anyway, I'm back. I'm back on YouTube. And I'll be sharing some recipes. I'll be sharing a lot of what I'm doing. I would love to have you join my cooking community. It's $47 for 90 days. You can join at a discount if you do for a year. And we have a lot of fun. Every Sunday night, we have our community dish where we just get together and chit chat. And and we do recipes one day a week. Tomorrow we're making a strawberry roll recipe. We do main dishes. We have meal plans. We do courses. We're just finishing up a course called Compass. Last night we talked about quality protein and essential amino acids. I mean, things like that. We talk about the research. A lot of that is research based. And then we have others that are really just about the food. I'm going to show you guys on YouTube how I do my quart jar tea. Gosh, I love this stuff. And you can make any kind of tea that you want, but it's super, super, super simple. I can't promise you a ton of recipes because I'm also very busy volunteering with recovery efforts in Western North Carolina after Hurricane Helene. And I'm having a garden, and I don't necessarily work out in a gym, but I am very, very active. I can't wait to tell you about the farm and everything that we planted and all the exciting things that we're doing. And anyway, it's good to be back. I covet your comments. I covet you sharing this video. I covet that connection with you guys. So anyway, I hope that you are happy and healthy and well. And if you aren't on Facebook, YouTube is a great way to connect with me. Cooking community is a great way to connect with me. But we need our community of people more than ever. I need you guys more than ever. And it's good to see you again. I hope that, I hope that you reach out and let me know how you are. Take care, guys.